Hi, welcome to our Pharma Topics channel, which aims at simplifying the pharmacy subjects and allied health sciences subjects. Today, our topic of discussion is thromboembolic disorders and drugs which are used in blood. Let us see when atherosclerotic plaque ruptures, that induces the formation of platelet adhesion, activation, and they lead to aggregation of the platelets that causes further activation of clotting factors, and finally the fibrin threads are formed from the thrombus. The clot formed is digested further with the help of plasmin, which is formed from plasminogen. So today our topic is anticoagulant, antiplatelet, and fibrinolytic drugs, which are very widely used in treatment of myocardial infarction, angina, stroke, deep vein thrombosis, atrial fibrillation, and all the other thromboembolic disorders. The drugs in this category include antiplatelet drugs such as TXA2 inhibitors, ADP antagonists, GP2B3A antagonist, PD inhibitors, and protease activated receptor 1 antagonists. The next major category is anticoagulants, which are oral, direct, and indirect thrombin inhibitors, and target specific oral anticoagulants. After the formation of clot, the thrombolytics are used in emergency conditions. The first category of drugs are antiplatelet drugs. Let us see about aspirin. It is a blocker of cyclooxygenase irreversibly, which leads to reduced production of prostaglandin H2, which further leads to formation of thromboxane A2, which is a platelet aggregator. The next set is ADP antagonists, which act on the P2Y12 receptors, clopidogrel, prasugrel, and all the grels. A newer grel is ticagrelor and cangrelor, which are directly acting reversible P2Y12 receptor antagonists. Ticagrelor is orally effective. The next category is GP2B3A inhibitors, with which the platelets attach to each other. So blockade of this reduces the platelet. The important antiplatelet drugs include aspirin, which is used at lower doses called baby aspirin, used as anticoagulant at 75 mg and 150 mg. It inhibits the synthesis of thromboxane A2. It is having multiple uses, prevents myocardial infarction, stroke, angina, transient or sudden ischemic attacks. It is used in patients with heart valves and those undergoing percutaneous coronary angioplasty. The adverse effects are GI irritation and bleeding. The next drug is clopidogrel, which is a platelet ADP P2Y12 irreversible blocker. This is a prodrug which is activated by CYP2C9. Polymorphism in it can lead to difference in efficacy in different patients. So therapeutic uses are prevent stroke and myocardial infarction in patients with acute coronary syndrome. It prevents intermittent claudication and is also used to prevent clotting in open heart surgery. The adverse effects are bleeding. The drug interactions, the most important, include with omeprazole, which increases the chances of bleeding with clopidogrel because it is a CYP2C9 inhibitor. The next drug is prasugrel, which is also very similar to clopidogrel, but it is fast acting and more potent. It has higher chances of bleeding. The next drug is ticlopidine. It is also very similar to prasugrel, but the most important adverse effect is it can cause neutropenia. So every 2 weeks it is mandatory to check the complete blood count up to third month. With the advancements of new drugs, the use of ticlopidine has reduced. The latest drug available in the market is ticagrelor and cangrelor. They are all not pro drugs and they cause reversible inhibition, so less chances of bleeding when compared to other drugs in this category. The next antiplatelet drugs include PDE inhibitors such as dipyridamole. Dipyridamole is basically a coronary vasodilator and a weak antiplatelet drug, but because of its vasodilating action, it is used in myocardial perfusion imaging to dilate the arteries and evaluate the coronary artery disease. Aspirin with dipyridamole is widely used to prevent ischemic stroke. Cilostazol is a PDE3 inhibitor. Therapeutically, it is used to treat intermittent claudication. It is metabolized by CYP3A4. So inhibitors or inducers of this enzyme can affect the efficacy of cilostazol. Then the GP2B3A inhibitors are abciximab. It prevents the binding of fibrinogen to platelets, and cross-linking of platelets is reduced. It is a non-competitive reversible inhibition of the GP2B3A inhibitors. Therapeutic uses are they prevent platelet aggregation and thrombosis in patients undergoing percutaneous coronary interventions such as coronary angioplasty and stent replacement. The adverse effects are bleeding, thrombocytopenia, hypotension, and bradycardia. The next drug is eptifibatide. It is a cyclic peptide obtained from rattlesnake venom. It is very similar in action to abciximab. The therapeutic uses are prevents platelet aggregation and thrombosis in patients with myocardial infarction or angina, both ST elevation of myocardial infarction or non-ST elevation of myocardial infarction. The adverse effects are bleeding. The latest drug available is Voraxapar. It is a orally active inhibitor of thrombin receptor on the platelets, protease activated receptor 1. It is recently approved with patients with a history of myocardial infarction or peripheral artery disease. Let us see about anticoagulant drugs, the most important drug, warfarin. In case of vitamin K cycle, the factor 2, 7, 9 and 10 are formed in the liver. They undergo gamma carboxylation and they get activated 2A, 7A, 9A and 10A. And this step is inhibited by the vitamin K inhibition done by warfarin by inhibiting the enzyme vitamin K reductase. So the factor 2, 7, 9 and 10 will not be activated to activated clotting factors. So the inhibition of activation of vitamin K dependent clotting factors leads to its anticoagulant effect. Warfarin has a delayed onset of action. It acts within 1 to 3 days. It is metabolized by CYP2C9. The dose calculation is based on the measurement of prothrombin time. The desired range is 2 to 3 international normalized ratio. The therapeutic uses are the maintenance of anticoagulation in MI, atrial fibrillation, and deep vein thrombosis. The adverse effects are sudden coagulation at the start of the therapy, which inhibits the synthesis of endogenous coagulants such as protein C and S, which first decline, or dermal vascular necrosis, which happens within 3 to 10 days and they resolve in spite of therapy with continuous therapy with warfarin. Other adverse effects are bleeding, hematuria, and ecchymosis, that is blood patches in the skin. The antidote to treat warfarin high dose toxicity is encountered with vitamin K injection or 4-factor concentrate 2, 7, 9 and 10. Warfarin is also a teratogenic. It can cause fetal warfarin syndrome, which is a complex of growth retardation, stippled epiphysis, and hypoplasia of nose and bones. The drug interactions are numerous with warfarin. The drugs which increases the effect of warfarin are broad spectrum antibiotics, cephalosporins, CYP inhibitors such as erythromycin, isoniazid, amiodarone, and cimetidine. And many drugs they decrease the effect of warfarin, which requires dose increase of warfarin are rifampicin, graciofulvin, carbamazepine, and oral contraceptives. The next important drugs are heparin. The first one is unfractionated heparin, which acts at the different levels of clotting factors. It reduces the activity of all the clotting factors. And whereas low molecular weight heparin is specific for factor 10A, and fondaparinux is also very similar in action to LMW heparin, that is low molecular weight heparin. Heparins are injectable. Nowadays, oral target specific anticoagulants are available, which are 10A inhibitors such as rivaroxaban and edoxaban. In case of heparin toxicity, direct thrombin inhibitors are preferred such as hirudin, lepirudin and bivalirudin. Let us see how heparin works. Heparin uh, is a peptide with a pentasaccharide sequence which binds to antithrombin, and that complex binds with thrombin and factor 10A. They inhibit them, and that leads to non-availability of factor 10A and factor 2, and thus it causes anticoagulant effect. Whereas the low molecular weight heparin is having a low molecular weight, but it is also having the pentasaccharide sequence which binds with antithrombin, that causes inhibition of that complex causes inhibition of factor 10A only, that leads to non-availability of factor 10A and leading to its anticoagulant effect. Heparin is a unfractionated heparin has a molecular weight of 5,000 to 30,000, whereas a low molecular weight heparins such as enoxaparin, dalteparin, tinzaparin are all range from 2,000 to 9,000 molecular weight. Mechanism: it potentiates the anticoagulant activity of antithrombin 3, which is a powerful inhibitor of prothrombin and factor 10. Low molecular weight targets only factor 10. The heparin activity is judged by activated plasma thromboplastin time, and the desired range is 1.5 to 2 in case of unfractionated heparin. There is no need to measure the APTT in case of low molecular weight heparins. The therapeutic uses of heparin are multiple. It is prophylactically used to prevent clotting in arterial and heart surgery, blood transfusions, dialysis, blood sample collection, acute atrial fibrillation, deep vein thrombosis, pulmonary embolism, acute coronary syndrome, and angioplasty. It is safe in pregnancy, but since it can lead to osteoporosis, it should be supplemented with calcium, whereas warfarin is contraindicated in pregnancy. The adverse effects include heparin-induced thrombocytopenia. It is of two types. One is type 1, causes a paradoxical thrombosis, which is mild and reversible within 4 days of continuous heparin therapy. It is a more frequent adverse effects. Type 2 heparin-induced thrombocytopenia is less frequent, but it is more serious, and it causes bleeding. It can be diagnosed with an assay, HIT serotonin assay. The other adverse effects of heparin are osteoporosis, alopecia, hyperkalemia, and because of the suppression of aldosterone and hepatotoxicity. The antidote for high toxicity of heparin is encountered with protamine sulfate or fresh plasma concentrate. The next drugs are direct thrombin inhibitors such as hirudin. It is obtained from the medicinal leech Hirudo medicinalis, lepirudin, pivalirudin, ergotroban, dabigatran, and zymalagatran. These drugs are specific anticoagulants of choice in heparin-induced thrombocytopenia, unstable angina, acute myocardial infarction, coronary interventions, and for patients undergoing hip or knee replacement surgery. The next are target-specific oral anticoagulants. They are 10A inhibitors, rivaroxaban, betrixaban, apixaban, and edoxaban. They are used to prevent clots in deep vein thrombosis, pulmonary embolism after knee or hip replacement surgery. There's a new drug which is available as an antidote in toxicity of oral 10A inhibitors such as andexanet alpha. And there is a drug called drotricogene alpha. It is a recombinant activated protein C. It inactivates a factor 5A and 8A. It decreases mortality in patients with severe sepsis. The next category of drugs are fibrinolytic drugs. They are streptokinase. It is available in a complex with the plasminogen called antistreplase. And the next drug is urokinase. Altiplase, retiplase, and tenecteplase are recombinant fibrinolytic drugs. They are direct acting tissue plasminogen activators which digest the fibrin clot. The thrombolytics and fibrinolytics are the widely used drug is streptokinase because it is cheaper. It's a protein obtained from streptococci, forms a complex with the plasminogen, It's called anti-streptase, acts like a tissue plasminogen activator and thus acts as a fibrinolytic. It is used in acute myocardial infarction, used as an infusion, could be administered within 12 hours, but it is preferable to administer within 3 to 6 hours. Severe life-threatening pulmonary embolism is also treated with the thrombolytics or the fibrinolytics. The adverse effects are bleeding, arrhythmias due to reperfusion injury to the myocardium. The other adverse effects include hypersensitivity, fatal anaphylactic shock because these drugs are antigenic. It can lead to formation of neutralizing antibodies. Thus, the dose of they lose the efficacy on repeated administration. The adverse effects include bleeding, which could be encountered with the antidotes such as epsilon aminocaproic acid and tranexamic acid. And the newer versions are urokinase, which is obtained from human urine, which is not antigenic. Reteplase, altiplase, and tenecteplase are all recombinant tissue plasminogen activators. They are long-acting and thus they can be administered as a bolus injection instead of infusion. I hope you understood about the drugs acting on blood. Thank you for listening. Happy learning. Kindly share this to your friends. Kindly subscribe to our channel to encourage us to put more videos. Thank you.